Hi, guys and gals. Welcome to Mind Body Mastery. This is my series where I focused on the connection between thinking, our brains, and our body to improve performance. And on today's episode, I have a guest. She's actually my first guest on the series, and it's none other than my cousin, friend, Sarah, classmate. Did I forget something? None other than Dr. LaBentria Ford. She is a chiropractor, the first black female chiropractor back in our hometown of Amite. And we are both biology nerds. She took hers a different way. I kept mine in the lab, although she does lab research. But
Yeah.
she we have both have this thing in common where we love to talk holistic things, and she's woman of faith, so she infuses that. I infuse that in my practice as well. And so we both believe that whatever service you do, I'm in coaching, she's in chiropractic medicine, it needs to be holistic. You can't treat one thing without thinking about mind, body, and so I am so glad to have her here, and we're going to dive into what she does, her business, her company, and how to get you well, and some things that you can do in your life to address problems holistically.
All right. Well,
So
thank you for having me. Oh my goodness, this is so exciting. I think back to, us being children and in high school and sitting, and who would have thought years later here we would have been doing this podcast. But it's amazing how much of our lives have been intertwined together, relational, family, just keeping on that same path. And if you look back at even when we were younger, this is just, it was meant for us to be here at this moment. So thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here and share with your audience what chiropractic is, who I am, and help them in any way possible. Because I think you and I share the same goal, and that's to reach the masses and make sure that people are living at their highest calling. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much for having me.
yeah, so on this series, like I said, we talk about mind, body, and performance. So we need to perform at our potential in every area of our life, whether it's career, family, but we can't do it without our bodies, and
That's right.
our bodies is controlled by our brain and our mind.
That's right.
So tell me about chiropractic medicine, what it
Okay.
is, and then talk to us, so we'll when somebody says some trash and myths about what it is, give us some information so they can retrain their brains about what chiropractic medicine is.
Absolutely. So let's talk about chiropractic is the healthcare profession that literally focuses on diagnosing and treating musculoskeletal disorders, particularly those that are related to the spine. So the central concept in chiropractic care is really the idea that proper alignment of the body's musculoskeletal system, especially the spine, enables the body to heal itself without the need of surgery or medicine. So we focus on diagnosing those, and not just diagnosing, but treating musculoskeletal disorders. And it's really getting to the root cause, because we believe that the power that made the body, God made the body, He made the body with the ability to heal itself. So under the right conditions, the body can do that. And we focus on those right conditions, making sure the body is right. I mean, there are tons of myths out here about what chiropractic is. And, people say, oh, you just go there to get cracked, or, oh, you only see a chiropractor if you've been involved in a car accident or if you have pain. But the truth of the matter is that chiropractic is much more than that. We take a holistic approach. What we do really is we consider the entire body, and not just the body, but mind, body, and spirit, because we know that those interconnected systems um, function together and flow together to make sure that the body is aligned. Even if we're fixing on the natural, the outside man, if we don't look at the inside man and the mind and the spirit of a person, we have failed that person. And I think that's the difference, when we're looking at Western medicine and chiropractic care, how it correlates is that we don't just treat symptoms, we find the root cause of disease. We also believe that many health problems start from the misalignment of the spine, and we call that subluxation. Misalignment means subluxations for us. And we know that those things interfere with the nervous system, okay? And it interferes with how the nervous system function. So we use a hand-on method or spinal manipulation adjustment. What people say, oh, I got cracked. That's what we do. It's called spinal manipulation. We use that, it's called adjustment, to correct those misalignments and restore proper nerve function and flow to the system. Now, granted, a lot of people feel like they only see chiropractors if they're in pain. And yes, if you are in pain, do come, because the body's, screaming out for help. Like there's pain and then there's death, right? So we want you to come if you're in pain, but we want to see you when you're not in pain. I see people from the time they're born to the time they die. And it's just keeping their body functioning at its highest calling. We are really preventative. So you don't want to wait till there's an issue to seek help. You want to seek help prior to there being an issue. We also do a lot of patient education. I have an office out in Amite, Louisiana, Tangipahoa Parish, called the Culminating Experience Chiropractic Clinic. And I got that name, God gave me that name and downloaded, because I wanted it to be a place where people could come and really have the culminating experience, not just chiropractic care, but they could come for the healing of the mind, healing of the soul, healing of the spirit, man. We talk about diet and exercise here. We talk about stress. We talk about all those things, because if I'm aligning the spine and you're going back to your stressful environment, you're going back to your old ways of doing things, then you are constantly being subluxated. So we deal with the total man. We teach patients what they need to do at home, what they need to do here. We give them, I tell patients all the time when they say, oh, I need to be cracked. No, you need to be adjusted. You are subluxated and need to be adjusted, because what I want you to do is to be able to go out into the community, go out into the world and educate the people on proper terminology. And in addition to that, as chiropractors, chiropractic healthcare, we collaborate with other professionals on a regular. I collaborate with my patient's medical doctor, their endocrinologists, their orthopedic surgeons, their neurologists. All of those, we collaborate together to make sure that the patient is functioning the way that they need to. So those are just like basically a gist of chiropractic care and what we do and how we assist people.
Yeah, I love that. I want to go back and focus on one little saying that you said, and I don't think people realize the difference. Eastern versus Western medicine, and I'm gonna throw in that Eastern isn't just what we think about as uh, Asia, but Eastern
Right.
also brings in things that our ancestors did in Africa,
Absolutely.
because that went from Africa up and over, and we just filtered out and did some stuff on our own over here. So
Yeah.
tell us the difference between Eastern and Western medicine, and why is it, I don't want to say gaining a resurgence, but why we focus more on integrating both, or even lifting up Eastern over Western?
I think the best way I can explain it is I really feel like Western medicine for so long has literally treated symptoms. And what people have come to realize is that in Western medicine, and I say this to people, if your physician, if your primary care physician, your doctor comes in, you come in with an issue, with an ailment, and they see you and they prescribe medicine to you, and they never ask you about your diet, they never ask you about exercise. They never ask you about, the stress and the things that are going on with you. They have failed you. And I
Yeah.
feel like Western medicine has become so it's become a money game in Western medicine. And it's about, not that it's bad, the money part is sometimes we need medicine. Okay. So let me just say that there's a myth that chiropractors don't believe in medicine and we don't believe in surgery. That's not true. We just say chiropractic first, medicine second, surgery last. Let surgery be our last resort. Let food be thy medicine. There are things that we can do. So I think Western medicine has just focused on treating disease. And so we take medicine for a stomach bug, or we take medicine for a headache. We take Tylenol. And then years later, we have liver damages from the Tylenol. And then we get on something else to, help the liver. And then that causes digestive issues and heart issues and those type of things. And I think what happens is, I think really that Eastern medicine thing started really taking a turn for the better right around COVID. I think when COVID happened, people really, they were incorporating it before, but then they started to reach back into the old ways, old methodologies, way of doing things. And I tell people all the time, some of what grandmother did made sense.
Yeah,
You know,
a lot.
a lot of it.
Now that I'm older, the apple cider vinegar treats everything.
Oh my goodness, I bought vinegar last night to treat something. So like literally, I was talking to someone because my son had like a little ringworm. And they were like, "Oh my God, what are you gonna do?" And I was like, "We're gonna get some apple cider vinegar. We're gonna
Right.
rub that on there, treat it with an it's antifungal, it's antibacterial, it has so many healing properties." And so I think people have gotten to the place where they are just tired of not having the issue fixed. It's almost like if I take my car to a mechanic and I constantly have to bring it back to you because you said you fixed the motor, and now there's a timing belt issue, and then there's a radiator issue, and then there's always something. Just put the car on the machine, find out everything that's wrong with it at first, and let's get to the root cause. And I think Eastern medicine is getting to the root cause. It is providing a holistic, natural way to treat disease. And these different supplements and different things that we're using from that Eastern medicine, from what grandma did, from what our ancestors did, is treating all of us. It's not just treating one thing. You take the apple cider vinegar, it curbs the appetite, it balances, the acidity of the stomach. It does so many things. And I think we have just literally gotten tired. People are tired of the same old, same old. People want to be well. They want to live. They want to not just be alive, but thrive. And so I don't want to be on medicine all the time. That medicine makes me feel, you look at Adderall and different things of that nature. You have children that don't want to take that medicine. Why not? That medicine makes me feel slow.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me druggy. I'm sleeping in class. I cannot function. Then how do we combat that? Okay, let's take out these red dyes from your diet.
Yeah.
Let's take out these different additives and things let's eat holistic. Let food be thy medicine, because God made these things to assist us. Now, he gave man mind, right? So we have knowledge and we're able to create additional things. Those things are not necessarily bad, but let's go back to the root. And I think that's the difference that a lot of people fail to realize, is that, medicine is not always bad, but there is a different way that we can combat these different diseases and different things that are going on with us. I had a conversation with someone, and just being in nutrition and knowing what I know, your gut is your second brain.
Yeah. What you eat affects the way you think. And even from my microbiology standpoint, learning that the good bacteria has a correlation to the type of neurotransmitters that's transmitted, the type of things. So this is like a truly mind-body connection that's super important about what we put in is junky and junk out. Good stuff in, good stuff out. We can't keep living this life where we work ourselves to death. Don't drink water, eat fast food on the go. I've gotten to a place where I know if when I eat like trash, I feel like trash.
Absolutely.
But we don't know the good. You have to get to a place where you know how your body's supposed to feel. And some people don't even know, my back don't have to hurt when I get up. I can move a little bit faster. I got a little bit mobility. I can like move from one thing to the other like that. I don't have to like, where am I going? I don't have to keep taking multiple naps just because I can't keep my eyes
Right.
open. So
Mhm.
it's getting to a place where you know your body, but you gotta kind of detox and step out some things so you'll know what's good, how you feel, and that becomes memory. You can go back
Yes,
to it
to
and
the
say, yeah,
absolutely.
you can go back to it and say, hey, okay, what did I not do this week? Oh, I haven't
Absolutely.
been walking. I haven't
Yes.
gotten up. My water hasn't. Okay, let me go back to that because I love this place where I felt great and I need to do better.
Yes, absolutely. And I think too, a lot of times we are people don't take that into consideration. It's like I teach my patients here, you are responsible for paying attention to your body. Because they often ask, well, doc, um, once I get better, how many times am I going to come? Because there's a misconception that once you go to a chiropractor, you got to just keep going, right? Like you just
Yeah.
never get a break. But even those people who don't see medical doctors on a regular, I'm telling patients, I have patients who come in here who haven't seen a doctor at all in 5 or 6 years. Absolutely not. That's not okay. Once a year, at least, we should be doing regular maintenance checkup. I tell them all the time, your body's like a car. You could drive it off the lot, right? And it's good. But if you go miles and miles and miles and you never take it for an oil change, you never take it to have the tires rotated and balanced, you never take it for any type of maintenance, eventually it's going to break down. Now, the difference between your body and your car is that you can get another car. But
You can't get
when
another
this
body.
body breaks down on you, you're not going to get another one of those. That's a wrap. You only get one, and that's just what it is. And patients will come in and say, hey, doc, well, I say, how long has this been going on? Well, all my life. I just thought it was normal.
Yeah, people normalize pain. Like they get so used to pain that you
Yes.
don't know when your body is operating out of dysfunction.
Absolutely. And so that's why I teach them is you pay attention to your body. Your body will give you the signs before it give it to anybody else. I had a patient who had some issues going on with their colon that turned out to be like initial early stages of colon cancer. And the patient was very adamant with their doctors. I am not okay. They kept taking labs and the labs kept being normal. And the patient kept saying, I don't care what those labs are saying. I do not feel okay. I eat a very balanced diet. I exercise. Something is off. And luckily for that patient, that patient was able to have her doctor pay attention more and say, okay, well, now we finally found what's going on with you. This is the initial phases of stage 1 colon cancer. Okay, good, because we can treat it. Now we can do some treatment, we can start some things, and she's in remission. Praise God for that. But you have to be adamant. Your body is yours. I'm not in there with you. I don't know what you're feeling. You know that. And so it's important to be, in tune with your body.
Yeah. So to bridge over, I into the holistic conversation and choosing the right care, I had this fabulous doctor while I was working at LSU. A lot of people who were in my office found her because she was a holistic doctor.
Mhm.
But she was a rarity because she took our insurance. But from the time that she spent an hour with me the first time, asking me what I did, what I ate, what I
Yes.
like she was the first person I felt saw me. She didn't push medicine. When my labs came back, of course, brown girls are always
Yeah.
vitamin D deficient. Instead
Yes.
of her saying, "Well, your iron's low, your vitamin D is low," she handed me a sheet, and she said, "What are all of these things that you're feeling right now?" It was fatigue. It
Yeah.
was like my hair was thinning. It was weight gain. It was a whole list of things, and I was like, this, and she was like, "All of this is caused by vitamin D."
Hmm.
And when I heard it, I was like, "Just one thing? All of this stuff caused one thing."
Absolutely.
And so she took the time. She knew my background, so she didn't like talk. Like she found it out. She knew what I did. She didn't talk to me that way. She really like, "Hey, Erin, this is what you need." And
Yes.
she did not push medicine. So I went back to her. I was just experiencing. We were crazy, working crazy. First professional job. I was burnt. Like that was when I knew I
Yeah.
was truly burnt out. Thought I was drinking enough water, but I had these blinding headaches, and it was a different type of headache. and my blood pressure is a little bit elevated, but not
Okay.
much. And she was like she asked me about my water intake. She asked me what was going on at work. She asked me a couple of things, and then she was like, "Let's try this. I'm gonna refer you out to a chiropractor."
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so that's how I started getting to regular chiropractic care. But looking back, I was walking more because LSU was a huge campus. I had to get
Yes.
from place to place. So that was an issue. I was getting in steps, but it was the water, the stress,
Mm-hmm.
back tightening up. It was everything. So once I went there, he was a different kind of, I don't want to say different kind of chiropractor. He was another one. So that she knew who to refer to. He actually
Absolutely.
told the same things, and he
Yes.
told me what to do after. And that from there, it just expanded me to like do better with my health
Yeah.
and making sure not to bring on those generational curses. I was at a pivotal moment in my life where I could not do anything or do something to preserve where
Mm-hmm.
I am and prevent all of the things that was that, my A1C was it wasn't pre-diabetes, it was a little hot. I knew that was
Yes.
an issue. I
Yes.
clamped down on it. Weight, walking, hydration, all of that stuff. Really, that was when I kind of shifted to really thinking, hey, this is your body. Like you said, we get
Yeah.
one body.
Yeah.
And you got to take care of it. And so that really did shift. And after that, I moved to Kentucky. I asked my chiropractor in Baton Rouge. I was like, he was. You can clarify this, but it was like he was certified in active stretch.
Mm-hmm.
17. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so they showed me how to stretch at home. I got a foam roller. They was like, keep on top of your
Yeah.
hydration, making sure you get massages because I thought massage was just like luxury.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
right.
No, you need one. I need one every other week. So
So that's how I really bought chiropractic into my life because I had a holistic doctor who I
Mhm.
just didn't want someone to say, "Oh, you are Black, female, and you're overweight.
Yeah.
Here's some high blood pressure medicine.
Yeah.
Eat a better diet." You never asked me what I ate. If you would ask me what I
Right.
ate, you would have found that I do eat.
Yeah.
I am particular about what I eat. You would have found another thing instead of just assuming I eat fried foods
Absolutely.
and
Mhm.
I sit on my behind every day.
Yeah.
So she was first person to see me, handed me out to a chiropractor who saw the same. And that's how I continue to learn. But you were also in your journey at that time of becoming a chiropractor. And so you're living far away. I was like, but you gotta get done.
Right. Like hurry up, okay? And that's it. When I got to chiropractic school, I was 300 and some odd pounds. Like I was, I mean, being from Louisiana is a disadvantage because we love food. I mean, we eat here. Like we don't play over food. Like when our friends who visit from up north come to Louisiana, they're like, we're not hungry. That's a sin. Like you need to eat, okay? So I had an unhealthy relationship with food. And I remember I would be out of breath, I'd be tired, I couldn't function, I couldn't do anything. And I thank God for Dr. Cornell Cornish, who's actually he and his wife, Dr. T. Andrea, are chiropractors. Dr. Cornell is from New Orleans. He was basically like a big brother mentor to me in chiropractic school during that time. And he was like, yo, let me keep it straight with you, right? You have to look the part.
Yeah.
How would you feel if you went to a fat doctor to get like weight loss information and he was obese? Like it don't go well together. So he was like, you got to fit the part. You can't teach people about health and you're not being healthy. And so I began to take the necessary steps, exercising, drinking, eating right, seeing a chiropractor on a regular, myself doing that time during my journey through chiropractic school. Because when I got to chiropractic school, I met people who like literally I met people who had never had vaccinations in their life. They had never seen a medical doctor in their life. They never got sick. I was baffled. I did not know that there were a generation of people. Like the first time I got a cold when I was in chiropractic school, I was like, "Oh, let me get like some Tylenol, cold and sinus." And they were like, "Absolutely not. Here you go." And I'm taking these natural herbs and things, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh my God, this is a thing." So I was definitely on that journey and noting too. You said something else about African American women and generational curses. We need to realize too that some things are generational curses. The Bible is very clear about generational curses. They exist, but some things are generational habits.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't all have to have, everybody in your family don't have to have hypertension. Everybody don't have to have diabetes. Everybody don't have to be obese. When do we stop and say, this is not normal and this stops with me? I'm not going to eat the way grandma ate. I'm not going to eat the way they ate. I'm not going to do the things that they do. I'm going to move more. I'm not going to stress the way that they stress, so that we can break those generational habits that lead to those curses, because it's really the habits that lead to those generational things. And
Yep.
so I think that's super important. I was on a journey to heal. I didn't know what healing looked like. I remember the first time I saw a therapist, like even for my mental health. First of all, you know where we come from. You take it to the Lord in prayer. Okay. Whatever it is, take it to the Lord in prayer. And I didn't see a mental health therapist until like I had my first son. I'm like at my church. My pastor believes in mental health. Like it was like, you go see somebody, talk that thing out and figure out what the root cause is, because we feel like if we talk it out, we're going to feel better. There is a reason why you are the way you are. For me, as a Black African American woman, I was taught that I need to work like a slave and I don't rest.
Yeah.
We don't get a break. You supposed to, you cook, you clean, you work, you do it all. You don't ask for a break. You're not allowed to be tired. And if you take a moment to rest, you were considered lazy.
Yeah. If there's one dish left in the sink or there's dishes, you go to bed with a dish, you trifling. Like it's
It's
embedded
crazy.
in the messaging we received. I refuse to live like that.
I can't do it anymore. And I teach my patients, like I have patients come in here, they're severely subluxated, especially the women. And I'm noticing this more, not just with African American women, but with women in general. I say this all the time to my patients. Women carry the weight of the world on their shoulders. So most of my female patients, this part of them is extremely tight, knotted up, subluxated. And normally for the men, it's the low back issue. But when I find women who have both upper and lower back issues, I start to ask questions like this. Is there a man in your life? No, it's
Yeah.
just me and I'm a single mother. I get it. All right. Now you're carrying the load that was supposed to be for the man to carry. And even those women who are married, when they come in with those issues, I'm noticing more that they're doing the bulk of the work. They're the breadwinners. The weight of the world is on their shoulders. The weight of provision is on them. And so they're having all these issues. So we have to get to the root cause. We got to like figure out what it is. How do I get better? How do I get better emotionally, physically? Because trust me, when your spirit man is free, when your mind is clear, your body tends to just relax. Like we talk about massage being a luxury. When I started going to get massage therapy, I could leave that place in that moment, in that music, let everything go, turn my phone off, be in the moment, and literally feel so light when I get up off that table, like not a care in the world. And so that's where we want to be. We want to be to a place where we're absolutely healthy, because the truth of the matter is you cannot pour from an empty cup.
Yeah.
If you're in pain and hurting, you cannot assist people. If you're mentally broken, you cannot assist people. If you're financially broke, you cannot. Everything matters.
Everything
Everything
matters. Yep.
matters. So,
Yep.
absolutely.
Tell me some of the things that you're seeing. Some of the comments. So you hit on a couple things, but give me a variety of perspective: kids, teens, adults, men, women. What are some of the things that you're seeing that people are not recognizing as a full dysfunction, dysregulation of the body, whether it's nervous system, musculoskeletal? I know in our pre-conversation we talked about being on the cell phone. I think you even posted something on Facebook about the curvature of the spine of sitting like this, and you're not sitting right at your desk. My chiropractor even told me how to sit correctly. I'm trying. I think I'm halfway there right now. But
Look,
how to sit correctly at your desk. And he knew I had a desk job and I was behind a computer. So tell me some of the things you're seeing from kids, teens, and adults that that our lifestyle is causing a lot of our issues.
Okay, let's start first with the cell phone because I'm seeing now more so in our children, young adults, teens. Normally, that reverse cervical curve happens later on in life. We call it military neck, where the cervical spine is straight. There should be some type of curve to that spine. And we're having that curve reverse earlier now than it used to be later because we're sitting, I mean, we're like this all day. And there's never, and I tell my patients, whatever we do one way, we need to do the opposite way. So the
Mm-hmm.
amount of time that you spend like this, you also need to spend
Yeah.
like this. I'm seeing a lot of a reverse cervical curve in the children. I'm seeing a lot of attention deficit disorder. And mainly that is not just, a lot of that is diet, and a lot of it is how stimulated they are. Our children are severely overstimulated. And I think we have neglected them so much so because parents have so much going on. There's so much weight for them to carry. Our children are getting so much screen time. I mean, they're at school, they're constantly being told what to do from the time they get up, and we talked about that in our pre-conversation too. And I'll hit on what I'm seeing in the adults, but I really want to focus on the children because it's easier for us to heal our children than it is to heal adults. And if
Yeah.
we can start with our children, we would have done something because they're our future. Our children are overstimulated. We wake up in the morning screaming because we're in a rush and it's like, get up, we gotta go. And they're at school, they're overstimulated. They really don't have the capacity to hold a lot. And we have told our children, oh, you're fine, you're just a kid. No, they're little humans. They're little humans. They're overstimulated. The TV's on, the cell phones, we give them cell phones at an early age. It doesn't stay on one thing any particular time. It's jumping from commercial. They're constantly forced to think. They never really get a lot of downtime. They don't. I mean, I think they've taken naps out of, are they napping in kindergarten?
I've had that conversation. I'm told no. I think it's only
You
pre-K. And
see,
I'm like, you I remember liking to take naps in
I
kindergarten. I
need a
remember my
nap.
little man.
Every now and then my staff will come in and be like, Doc, you okay? It's fine. I'm not gonna eat lunch. I need a nap. Like, these children need a nap, and they are taking on, you would be surprised how many children are taking on the weight of adults. Like,
Yeah.
um, single moms, or even married couples, when they can't provide for the children know more than they need to know. And then it becomes, back in the day, if we didn't have McDonald's money, my mama didn't say we didn't have McDonald's money. She would just say, Mama cook, we gonna eat at home. I didn't
Yeah.
know we didn't have McDonald's money. I just felt like my mama didn't want to buy us no food out. I told her recently, I was like, I didn't know we didn't have money growing up. I thought we were well off, right? Because she knew how to manage, and when ends didn't meet, we didn't know that. And so these children know that ends are not meeting. They know that we gotta wait for mama to get her income tax, or they know whatever the case may be. So they're overstimulated. I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of scoliosis in my office. I believe that we attract what's in us. I was diagnosed with scoliosis at 11. We didn't know what that was. All they said was they needed to do an emergency surgery, put a rod in my back, but they could not explain to my mama what happened as I grew, what would happen to me long term. So my mom opted out of surgery, and we didn't know chiropractic. We didn't know what chiropractic was at that time. So now I have grown, and my spine makes an entire S. I'm seeing that in children because schools used to look for scoliosis in the students. They're not doing that anymore. I see a lot of children coming in with headaches, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean severe headaches. Parents normally blow their kids off like, you don't have no headache. My back hurts, mom. You don't have a back, is what they say. But I'm seeing a lot of that in our children. Now, in our adults, I see a lot of headache. I see a lot of I'm even seeing more scoliosis in adult patients. They didn't even know. They just always felt like they were weird, or they walked weird, or I
Yeah.
always feel like I lean one way. They didn't know that. I see a lot of cluster headaches. I
Mm-hmm.
see a lot of migraines in here. low back pain, neck pain. I'm seeing a lot of extremities now. People coming with shoulder issues, ankle issues, just severe subluxation. I'm also I'm seeing tons of things in this office. I see a lot of elderly patients come in with hearing issues. Hearing issues, I'm seeing a lot of that. So that's just a few of the things that I'm seeing, but it's a lot of stuff going on. I'm seeing stuff that I didn't even see in the textbook. So I'm like, Lord, where did this come from? Because I did not learn about that. But yeah, it's adventurous over here.
So, two last questions as we wrap up. People, well, it's not the same thing. People can get to you. If you're listening to this, you're from my hometown, you from Hammond, A Mead, St. Helena, Kentwood, in the radius of like 20,
Yeah.
30 miles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm coming to you. Save me a spot on 19. I'll be in town. That's why I'm
Okay.
planning to make my appointment.
Yeah.
But they can't get to you. Tell them how they can choose a chiropractor, what they should look for in that doctor, and where to find one so they can begin their holistic journey.
Okay. And technically speaking, from the Mississippi state line coming on
Mhm.
up to Hammond, um, I myself am in a meet at 319 West Oak Street in a meet. There's also Dr. Addington in a meet. There are a few chiropractors in the Hammond area. So if you're out and there's not a chiropractor close to you, my suggestion would be to drive. I mean, just find you one and go to them, make that exception. But if you are at a chiropractor who's local, who's not myself, I tell you to look for the same thing that you would look for in all of your providers. You want to make sure that your doctor asks you the questions that we stated today. You want someone who cares about your total man. So if the doctor is only coming in and adjusting you, I never adjust patients on the first visit. Okay. We send out for x-rays. We do a thorough exam because I need to compile a list of a report of findings. We need to talk about what is going on, what I've seen on your x-ray, how long it's going to take us to get better, what things I'm going to do, what things you're going to do. You want that doctor. You want that doctor to say, hold up, this has been going on. Let me look at this. Let me look at this. Let me ask you this. Let me not adjust you. I'm going to send you away with a little homework for you to do at home. I may tell you to ice. I may tell you to, relax, drink plenty of water. When you come back for your report of findings, then we'll decide what type of treatment is going to be best for you. So look for the person who cares about you. And you can immediately tell when you walk into a doctor's office if this is going to be the place. Based off the staff when they greet you, based off the questions that you're having to fill out on your intake form. They should be asking you questions about not just your pain, but your lifestyle, what it is you like to do. I always ask my patients, what are you not able to do now that you wish you could do?
Yeah.
Because we want to work toward that goal. So when you're searching somebody, you want to make sure that your doctor is licensed, because we have a lot of imposters out there, but you want to make sure that your doctor is licensed in the state and is able to practice. And this is not just for chiropractic. This is for any type of provider, but definitely for chiropractic. You want to make sure, look at your Google reviews, look at your Facebook reviews, research these people. You know what I mean? See what the people are saying about them. And that's how you make your decision.
What is your perspective? And I know the answer, but for the people, there's some commercial franchise chiropractors. What's your take on it? Better, worse, like good, better, best? How would you rate? Like, if you can't get to it, we've had this conversation, but I want you to.
Let me tell you something, because this is franchises are more of your, like, come in for your, it's almost like your urgent care facilities. Okay. So your urgent care facilities, when something is going wrong and you cannot get to your primary care, you are going to run into your urgent care facility and you're going to get some type of treatment. That's how I feel about the franchises, and they're not bad. Urgent care facilities aren't bad. We need them. And so we need our franchises because they're open literally almost every day of the week. And so most chiropractors who practice like myself, we're only open a certain amount of time. So you need your franchises. If a franchise is near you, and that's the closest place for you, definitely seek out that franchise and go. They have memberships. I don't know. A lot of them don't do a lot of x-ray, but they will examine the spine. Every chiropractor that you go to is going to do some form of examination to make sure that you are a candidate for chiropractic care. So if that's all that is near you, definitely go. However, I would want you to seek out a place where you can actually go and you can see, because having x-rays and exams where a doctor explains to you everything that's going on, that's good for you. It's good for you to know. It's good for you to share. So I don't have really anything negative to say about the franchises because I equate them to our urgent care facilities. And if that is all that is near you, go, because being relieved of that subluxation or misalignment is definitely going to help your body heal. Now, they're not going to spend the time with you that a chiropractor like myself would spend in giving you the exercise, the homework, walking through with you, seeing those type of things. They can't. They can't. If you go into emergency room, that doctor is only going to give you what is emergency, and then he has to send you on because he has tons of patients coming in that he has to see for emergency situations. But definitely, because being subluxation free is the goal, because without the subluxation, the body can heal itself. So if you get that subluxation removed at a franchise, then by all means have it removed. But do seek out a chiropractor that you can use as your primary care physician. We are considered primary care doctors. So use your chiropractor as your primary care physician. But if that's the closest thing to you, it's the only thing that you have time for, by all means, seek them out. There are tons of them. There's 100% chiropractic. There's the joint franchise. There are a lot of franchises around here. We don't have so many in Louisiana, but we do have a few. So if that's what's closest to you, definitely run on over and get adjusted.
Okay. So what are some things we can do on our own that we can be aware of to start to heal ourselves or put in good habits in place? I know for me, when you said you got to do the opposite, I try at the end of the day to lay upside down, to give my spine to try to get decompressed, to have a foam roller. I try to incorporate yoga and stretching a couple of times a week, or even when I'm noticed I'm sitting down, I stretch. So what are some things that we could do to incorporate into our daily habits to keep our spine in alignment?
We want to make sure that we're dieting. And now let's say dieting, because I say if you take the T out diet, you diet. That's just what you do. But you want to make sure that you're eating a balanced diet. All right. You want to make sure that you're drinking. I tell patients to drink half your body weight in ounces of water. So whatever you weigh, divide that by 2, drink that many ounces of water. You want to make sure that you are exercising. Now, here's the thing about exercise. Everybody's like, let me just go and exercise. Absolutely not. If you haven't exercised in years, you need to ease your way into that thing. Start off by walking. Whatever type of exercise you do, whether that's lifting weights, whether that's stretching, the best thing you can do is to find someone who is licensed on YouTube to follow so that they can show you the appropriate way to do the stretching. You want to make sure you're stretching. You want to make sure you're exercising. You also want to make sure that you are detoxing your body, and not just the gut. The gut is important. Your gut is important. You want to have your probiotics, your prebiotics. You want to make sure you're detoxing that area. But you want to find time for you. You want to pencil you in on your schedule, and you want to decompress. So massage therapy, if you can see, they have a lot of massage therapy franchises, okay? If you can get a massage, by all means do that. You want to minimize the amount of stress that you're taking in on a daily basis. And Erin, you and I talk all the time. People are like, I'm stressed on this job and I cannot leave this job. God will provide. Because if you die today or tomorrow, they're going to post your job, take your PTO. All right. If you have it, take it. If you don't have it, take it anyway. The bills are going to keep coming. Save for a rainy day so that you can do things like that. So those are the things that you need to do. You need to minimize your stress. You need to eat right. You need to drink lots of water. You need to exercise, but you need to make sure you're following the appropriate stretching techniques and you're doing it appropriately, because you can do it incorrectly and you'll cause more damage. And then seek out a chiropractor in your area, a holistic doctor, anybody to just aid you in healing. So that's going to be super important.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Ford. Give the address, website, and on how they can find you, follow you. You do post a lot of great tips on your IG page and Facebook page, your business page. So let them know how they can find you and follow you.
All right. We are located at 319 West Oak Street, Amite, Louisiana, 70422. You can reach us by phone, 985-247-2898. Or you can send us a fax, 985-247-2899. Our website is tcechiropractic.com. That's the culminating experience abbreviated, tcechiropractic.com. Our email address is tcechiropractic@gmail. And we are on Facebook and Instagram, TCE Chiropractic. Be on the lookout. We're supposed to get us a TikTok going here soon. I'm trying to just master what little stuff we do have, but we are available and open to serve you. Miss Princess is our office assistant, so she's normally answering the phones and getting you scheduled. But even if you have just questions, you can follow our social media. A lot of answers will be found there. And a lot of answers are also on our website at tcechiropractic.com. So we are looking forward to serving you in the community. Any questions you guys have, don't hesitate to reach out and ask.
Well, I will make sure I make that available in the caption on this video, wherever it is, whether it's YouTube or IG or Facebook or even LinkedIn. We'll share this video on LinkedIn. So thank you so much for joining me and my guest, Dr. Ford, on Mind Body Mastery. You can catch more of this on my YouTube at Aaron Wheeler, PhD. And you can see past episodes and catch upcoming episodes. So thank you. Take care of yourself. Keep thriving. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.